So, Michael Langley is in Kenya for the African Chief of Defense Conference, and this is the same man, not long ago, accused Captain Ibrahim TRAORE of exploiting Burkina Faso's gold reserves for personal gain.
Their gold reserves, that is all those proceeds are just in exchange to protect the junta regime.
And now, while on African soil, Langley doubles down on his claims, even going as far as calling Burkina Faso the epicenter of global terrorism. Yes, you heard that right. Let's listen to him together, then we come back with some commentary. If you're new here, kindly consider subscribing so you don't miss any update from my videos. Let's dive into it.
You are on African soil, not for the first time, but this would be a good moment to ask about one of the countries that has taken its own autonomy, and that's Burkina Faso. Yeah. Your remarks recently at the Senate seem to suggest that he's diverting, General Traoré, is diverting its 4 billion gold reserves to sustain his military rule rather than for public welfare. These remarks sparked widespread condemnation across the continent. What did you mean by that statement?
Let me speak to Burkina Faso's sovereignty. They maintain their sovereignty. They make their decisions how they use their resources. They make their decisions who their resources go to for military support. That's their sovereign right. But my cautionary tale was just from a military perspective. That was a Senate Armed Services Committee asking me a direct question. Burkina Faso, a lot of great things going on to progress them forward, okay? But then when you look at the military part of it, knowing that that's the epicenter of global terrorism, it was my time to illuminate that this is probably their weakest point, and there needs to be sufficient resources going towards for the whole fight of terrorism in that country. Period. They make their decisions, though. That's their sovereignty, their sovereign right to make their decisions, what is appropriate, what's not. But I wanted to illuminate that it's going in the wrong direction now. ISIS is getting stronger. JNIM is getting stronger. Al-Qaeda in the lands of the Maghreb is getting stronger in that country.
And do you think it's getting stronger after General Traoré took over?
It has. Just look at the numbers of attacks. It really has, since 2022. I've been tracking this since I took command. So, no ill will towards him, but the decisions is their own. They're looking for other ways to be able to, they're still on warfighting footing. It's just going to take more resources.
So you stand by that statement? Because there's been pressure on you to walk those statements back.
That's my statement. That's my assessment. That is getting worse. More needs to be done for not just local, but whole of country, because of these violent extremist organizations are seeking revenue. They're seeking resources, they're seeking recruiting from the Burkinabe people, and they're seeking refuge within their country. That threatens their sovereignty.
Okay. And that threatens America's interest?
Say again?
Does that then threaten America's interests?
Yes, thank you for asking that. Because especially ISIS, and of course, in East Africa is inextricably linked all the way to ISIS West Africa, ISIS Sahel, and there's going to be probably a move afoot for them to move and seek refuge within the line. So we have shared objectives, and we offer to work together with the Burkinabe government and border countries Mali, Niger, coast to West Africa countries collective, because here's what these organizations do. Here's what these terrorist organizations do. They seek refuge in the seams or the borders of these countries and lets them thrive and grow and lets them recruit, gain resources to carry on their illicit and nefarious activities against the populations, people.
And what would America, perhaps AFRICOM, be prepared to do? Would you be considering an ouster like we saw with Muammar Gaddafi in Libya? Because there's still many Africans who are yet to recover from that. If this is a bigger threat, as you say, in Burkina Faso, what is AFRICOM prepared to do about it?
We do indications and warnings. There's a number of activities that we do, and we'll just go ahead and mention building institutional capacity. There's not going to be U.S. boots on the ground. Very, very small for exchange of ideas and training, exercises. Over time, that builds institutional capacity and capability in these armies. There, AFRICOM, we are working towards a burden sharing and a burden shift for their independent operations. That's our goal. We have the shared objectives because these same terrorist groups can threaten our homeland. So we're in concert. I was just an African Lion over in Morocco. A number of countries working together to be able to address.
Is Burkina Faso invited here today for this conference?
Yes. Yes. 80% of that region is controlled by those extremist organizations. So their sovereignty is already threatened by their shared objectives. And we want to help them because if Burkina Faso wins against terrorism, all the bordering countries win as well.
It's still the audacity for me. Even after the protest, even after all the noise made on social media, General Langley has the audacity to say that Burkina Faso is the epicenter of global terrorism. A country that is fighting for its sovereignty, a country trying to break the chains of neocolonialism, being painted a global threat by someone representing the forces behind destabilizing the region. Wow. Instead of addressing US military failures in the Sahel, he points fingers at one of the few leaders actually trying to relight the story of Africa's future. I think we still have a lot of work to do. The fact that General Langley can come to the heart of Africa and speak with such authority shows how much work we still have to do. Let them call it terrorism. We call it resistance. We call it freedom. And we'll keep raising our voices until the truth cannot be silenced. Africans are wide awake. We see through the lies. We stand with leaders who are fighting for the sovereignty, dignity, and self-determination.
He talked about Burkina Faso's gold, saying that we use it to protect ourselves and all that. First of all, it's Burkina Faso's gold, it's not his gold. That's the first thing. What business is it of his? It's none of his business. It's Burkina Faso, it's Burkina Faso's gold, it doesn't concern him. Second thing, he's lying. Because Burkina Faso never had any gold reserves until we came along. We are the ones who started setting aside gold for the treasury of Burkina Faso. Otherwise, there wasn't a single gram of gold reserves in Burkina. That means he's a liar again. Another thing, when he says we use it to protect ourselves and all that, we are free. If the people have decided that we should govern them, we have a duty to protect ourselves. So we are free. What business is it of his? And the part that hurt me the most, not because he's a general or because he's American or anything like that, but because he's black. It really hurts to see a black man being used to fight against another black man. And this didn't start just now. It has to stop. You see, it's very dangerous. Even Libya, who destroyed Libya? Once again, they used a black man. In movies back in the day, in America, black people always played the bad guy. But we know that's just in the movies. But why do black people have to keep playing the bad guy? I think that if he heard this interview, he should look at himself in the mirror, feel ashamed.
Indeed, very ashamed. For how long will black individuals like General Michael Langley be used by Western powers to push agendas that ultimately do not serve the interest of black people, whether in Africa, America, or across the diaspora? General Langley was appointed to lead the U.S. Africa Command, AFRICOM, and AFRICOM is not a peacekeeping mission. It is a military operation whose main purpose is to secure U.S. interest on the African continent. Under its watch, Africa has become more militarized, not more secure. American drones fly all over African skies, and American trained soldiers have staged coups in countries like Mali and Burkina Faso. How does that benefit ordinary Africans? And the truth is, Michael Langley represents the new face of imperialism, one that looks like us but doesn't work for us. The West has learned from history. They've realized that colonialism with white faces is too obvious now. So they promote black faces, black generals, black presidents, even black media personalities. But often, only those who will serve the system, not challenge it. They call it diversity, but it is deception. We are not against black excellence. We are not against Michael Langley as a man. We are against the role that men like him are used to play in systems that hurt Africa and the global black community. We must redefine what success means. True black excellence is not serving Western empires. It is liberating our own. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If you found value in what we shared, kindly don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any update from my videos. Your support really means a lot, and it helps us keep bringing you more insightful content. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.